Gentlemen, ladies, everyone, thank you. A round for our band. Unbelievable. We are so blessed to have this type of talent here each and every week. It truly gives, I know for us in the office, such inspiration. And I'm sure that it gives you inspiration throughout the week. And please bring all your friends. All right, one thing at a time. That's what my talk is about. And it's kind of on the heels of what I talked about my last time, the bridge. And it was so wonderful. Christine, thank you very much for your prayer. That was absolutely wonderful. She really brought in and tied in last talk and this talk when you talked about the bridge. That was wonderful. This is what I'm talking about, people. Divine right order. Regardless of what's going on, what we teach here is that there's only one thing happening, and that's the perfect unfoldment of spirit. And the fact that she didn't even talk to me about what she was going to do, or other than she knew that what my talk title was, she, through her divine inspiration, created that prayer. And that is what I hope that we are doing here to each and every one of you, is to inspire you to your own divinity, your own birthright, that we are not stuck anywhere. So let's get started. The human brain is designed to focus on one thing at a time. So multitasking is actually a series of rapid task switches. Now, anybody here do multitasking and believes in that? I'm telling you, I do. Well, it's funny that the first thing when I looked this up was the human brain is designed to focus on one thing at a time. What do we teach here? For those of you who are new, we teach that there's only one thing happening at any given time, and that is spirit, the universe, nature, whatever you want to call that higher power. It doesn't care, because it isn't a person, place, or thing. It is that energy that is within each and every one of us. So I love the fact that this first slide says one thing at a time. So let's see some stuff about this sort of stuff. Each time you switch tasks, your brain has to turn off cognitive rules for the previous task and turn on new ones. Kind of like turning off a light switch in one room and going to turn on the light switch in the other one. Now you got to run back to the other room. Now you got to turn this light off and turn this one back on. It's kind of the same thing, but it happens in our head. The process is called goal shifting, and it takes time. I never knew that. And we're talking microseconds or milliseconds or just a couple seconds. But that sort of stuff adds up, doesn't it? Here we are supposed to be productive and being, efficient. There we go. Efficient with our time and our mental capacity on how we're living our life, that it doesn't seem very efficient. Next. So what are the cons? Well, let's go see what they say. Increase the likelihood of making the mistakes up by 12.5 for 12.6. Guilty. I don't know about you, but this is a talk about me. All right. Decrease productivity by 40%. Has anybody ever experienced that by doing multitasking? Yes. I tell you what, it's very interesting, all this sort of stuff. And then what else do we have? Make more mistakes and have to repeat tasks that lead to lower quality of work. I know for myself that when I've done multiple things, I'm starting something in one part of the room, and now I got to go do something in the kitchen. Oh, shoot, I just put a red sock in with my white clothes, and now everything's pink. Man, you can't bleach that out, I tell you what. So now I get to go do tie-dye now. So those of you who think, oh, I do multitasking and I'm very good. Well, great. According to the American Society of Employers, only 2.5% of the population is able to multitask efficiently. That means 2.5 people out of every 100. I love that. Thank you. I didn't think that was that big of a laugh, but I'll take it. But it's so funny how that is. Here we are as a collective thinking that multitasking is the way to be productive. And why is that? Well, I was watching something the other day, and there's basically only 4 true emotions or states of being. That is happy, that's sad, that is fear, and now I can't think of the fourth one. No, that's part of happy. Anyway, there's a fourth one. I'm not going to waste my time on this. But basically, being in fear of your job or what you're doing, that you're not adequate enough, makes you buy into the fact that you have to multitask, to seem busy. And that's so true. I find with myself that, yes, I'm very busy doing stuff, but actually doing a task, it seems that half the time, like I said, 40% of the time, I'm bouncing back and forth between the two tasks. But if I was able to stay focused on just one thing at a time, I would be more productive, it would be done in a correct manner, and less mistakes happen. Story time. Talking about all this multitasking. Went to Home Depot to get some paint. So I'm in the middle of doing this nice big job, and I've got to go to Home Depot because I've got all this stuff I've got to do, and I need to get more paint. Well, I go in to go get more paint, and as I walk in, there before me, sale. Ooh. And Home Depot is the toy store for guys. So I go in and I start, I like this. I'm going to pick up some of that. And then I realize, wait a minute. I need to get some tape. I need some of that stuff over here. And then I need some more construction paper to basically protect everything. I don't want to get painted. So I take that. And I go up to the register and I'm going in and I'll check myself out, do everything. Yes, I'll take one plastic bag for 10 cents, put everything in, and start walking to the car. And I'm strolling because I'm looking pretty good. Put everything in the car, open up the bag. Where's the hell is my paint? Because I'm thinking about everything that I've got to be doing, and then things are catching my eyes. I'm not focused on the one thing that I'm there for, and that's the paint. So guess what? Got to go get the paint. It's kind of like Eeyore. It looks like paint. Oh, God. Anyway, the outer world is an inner journey. If you're open, the messages are all around. Spirit is always creating connections, and we need to recognize this truth. Right at the beginning of this talk, it talked about one thing at a time. Again, we talk about there's only one true life. We are just divine aspects of that life. Think of it like this, for those of you who are new. If existence or spirit was a diamond, each and every one of us are a facet on that diamond. It has its own unique perspective on its life. It reflects life differently than the next facet to it. Even though it's the same thing, it acts, it perceives, it projects different life, different light, different moods, different ideas, but it's still just one thing, and that is a diamond. So each and every one of us are that facet of that perfection, that diamond that we call spirit. Time management or mind management. That's what we're really talking about here. When you're talking about multitasking and trying to go on and be more productive, you're worried about the things at hand, the things that you physically have to do. But when you stay in that sense of perfection that you are the antithesis of spirit, divinely expressing as each and every one of us, there's no time management needed because everything happens perfectly in the natural sequential order that it needs to. The difference between each and every one of us is our mindset. What we imprint upon spirit, spirit must and can only say yes to whatever it is that we are thinking. So it is a mind management more so than a time management. What are you thinking about as your day's going along? How are you thinking of life? Are you loving your job or are you dreading it? Do you love coming home to your family? Or do you go, maybe not, maybe one more time around the block? But it's true. How you view, how you mentally think about life, Spirit says yes and gives you more of it. And that's what we do here on Sundays, is to give you inspiration, to show you the truth of who each and every one of you are, to help you recognize maybe faulty thinking and allow you to see the perfection of who and each of us are, and have the cognitive ability to recognize that shortfall and not to beat ourselves up, but to say, yes, I choose something different. I choose something better, because there's only right here and right now. We often are futurizing what our life is supposed to be. You know, especially I know in high school, I've got to get to that, well, not me. My parents said, oh, well, I've got to get to this school right here. I've got to do this. I've got to get these grades because, I've got to get into the Citadel. That was the big thing. And believe me, after 18 years, I retired the military, a major military brat. But-um-bump. Okay. Not very many military people here. A spiritual life is more productive. You are using the very life essence of all things, just what I was talking about. When you come from the standpoint, that reality that you are the divine aspect of that one life, there's nothing really to truly worry about. Yes, there's things that we want to accomplish, but those are aspirations. Those are divine inspiration from that one source going, yes, each of us are that aspect of life. And it's that divine essence that is giving you ideas, that inspiration from down in here. Now, sometimes a lot of us, and I know that I've been guilty of this in the past, where I squash those ideas thinking, no, it doesn't fit into what I've got to do today, because, again, I'm multitasking. I'm thinking about, I've got to do this, or I need to accomplish this. This place teaches you that, yes, you each are the action of Spirit, but it is the divine ideal that's within each and every one of us that gives us the inspiration to complete those tasks, to become that artist, to become that rocket scientist, to become whatever it is you want to be. But when you come and realize that inspiration that you get deep inside of you is a divine inspiration, hold more weight to it. Give it more credence. Take a look at it. Examine it. And you just might find that that creates an opportunity to propel you into something greater than if you were to have to do it by yourself. Because I'm here to tell you that none of us are truly alone. Because you have the divine ideal embedded into your DNA. Having a game plan is wonderful. However, to open, I love my life. Having a game plan is wonderful. However, be open to all inspiration around you. That goes into what I was just talking about. You are not alone. Didn't I just say that each of us are that divine aspect, that facet of that same diamond? Why not be open to the possibility to a complete stranger, someone that you've never seen in your life before, say something that resonates with you? I can just say this for myself, it has happened more often than not. And I have friends who are very standoffish, very quiet. They are very private. I don't want people knowing my stuff. That's my stuff. But me, I'm an open book. I tell everybody everything, and some of my friends are just like, why do you do that? Because I realize the divine nature of life, that we are all the one thing happening individualized and expressing differently. So where I might be having a shortcoming in figuring out a problem or there's an obstacle in my life, some stranger at Home Depot might be saying something, and because I overheard and I pay attention to everything, they might say one word, not a sentence, not a paragraph, one word that unlocks that potential that was already inside of me. But because I had this mind instead of this mind running the show, it kept it locked and hidden. So open up your mind here and keep it here and allow the universe to conspire for your highest and best good. Just like at a stop sign, look both ways. We teach safety in driving it. And I'm hoping that every one of us do that even to this day. You come up to a stop sign, and you look left, you look right, you look left again, and then you move cautiously forward. So anyway, that little example is life. I love how life gives me clues to the divine truth of life itself. When we come up to a problem, that's a stop sign. I am stopped because I can't figure out how to move forward. But I look left and I look right, there's other things happening off to the side, which if I was able to go straight, I'm only focused like a horse with the blinders on, that I'm not able to see the opportunities that Spirit is laying along my sides, like the flowers along the freeway. You're driving 90 miles, you're driving 100 miles an hour down the road. You can't see the flowers. You only see the pavement, those lines coming one after another, after another, after another. So repetitive, so boring, so I'm lost. And then, I forgot my exit because I was so focused on everything that I had to do instead of being present in the moment. Life and your life is unfolding right now. Be present with every step. I like that. Now I'm wondering, is this a grammatically correct sentence? I'm sure that some people would probably say, no, that's not, because you're talking about two subjects, life and life. You're talking two subjects, you can't be is, it's got to be an are. And that just drives me nuts. But what life and your life is this life? Capital L, little l, I-F-E. Spirit's life and your life are not two separate things. It's one thing happening. So life and your life is unfolding right now. Be present at every step. Yes, have a game plan. Have an idea of where you want to be or what you want to experience. But you can't keep yourself in that mindset off in the distance, off at that next mountaintop. You have to know the pathway. You have to know each and every step on your path. But being open to the detours, because it's those detours that may be a shorter path to that idea that you want to experience than what you thought you could do on your own. It's stuff like this that caused me to become what I am today. Because if I can do this, I know each and every one of you can do this. Say this with me. I am divinely guided to those who are divinely guided for my highest and best good. Come on, people. I mean, you did something earlier in the service and we're like, woo, at the very beginning. Let's say this with some gusto and with some feeling, huh? From the gut, abdomen, from the abdomen. I am divinely guided to those who are divinely guided for my highest and best good. Loving life, one heartbeat at a time. That is what we teach here. That is how to live your life. Changing minds. You don't have to change anyone's mind except your own. Realize the potential that each and every one of you are. Live from that divine aspect and that energy. And loving life, one heartbeat at a time, you change people, not because you're forcing them, but because they are inspired to become, I want more of what they're having. Like what was that movie? I'll have what she's having. Yeah. Where the heck did that come from? I swear to God, I love this. Be divinely inspired. Be true to who you are. Listen to that divine love in your heart. Live from that authentic self. Be that facet, that perfection of light, reflecting life of that diamond that we call spirit. One thing at a time. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to be, is one thing. That is spirit in action. Thank you.